because Ethan Hawke is one of our favorite actors. He's been in some of our favorite films. I want to make sure we give him his shout out and give him his top five movies. And why don't you go ahead and start it?
Okay, my top five Ethan Hawke films. Number five, I put Alive because it rhymes and it's cool. Alive was great. Alive was the first. It was the first movie that I saw of him after like a Dead Poets or an Explorers, which is the younger version of Ethan Hawke. This was the first one that
really, it's his first adult film.
Yeah. So, and he had the longer hair, he had the beard, and just the movie was so suspenseful. It was just a tragedy to watch. That's number five. Number four for me is The Kid. I thought he was excellent in that one.
Nice.
Number three is Sinister because that's the freakiest movie ever, and he's in it. And I don't think he'd ever done really like that sort of horror thriller kind of movie up until then. And he just did it really, really great job. The next two are obvious. Number two is Training Day. He was brilliant in that. And number one is the greatest movie of all time, Dead Poets Society.
I mean, you were close. You had a very decent list. You were close.
Perfect list.
Wasn't he nominated in Training Day?
Yeah, nominated. Didn't win though.
He wasn't nominated in Dead Poets. All right, so we're not terribly far apart. We're not terribly far apart. My number five, and I put Magnificent Seven, but I thought about The Kid, and he's also in another film called In the Valley of Violence, and he was really good in that one too. And so my number five film, you can pick any of his westerns, but it's
you slashed it twice.
I didn't slash it. I picked Magnificent Seven, but just any western. Honestly, he's so good in westerns, and I hope he does more. But that's why you could pick any number five. I'm picking Magnificent Seven. But he was excellent.
They should put him in Guns 3.
Yeah, right. That'd be awesome.
On.
That'd be awesome. And by the way, we don't know.
I'll call Emilio.
Yeah. Number four, you had already mentioned it. Alive. Talk about a very like edgier film that I saw. I mean, I was maybe 10 or 11 when I saw that one.
Yeah, I just got into high school.
Going through that one was pretty intense. My number three, and you put his other film, but I put The Black Phone because he was creepy and terrifying, and I hadn't seen him do something like this before. And again, because the film is so well done, I had to include it. But you might be right. I haven't seen that other one, but that's probably maybe a more appropriate one.
Yeah, but Sinister it's more about the freakier aspect of that is not because of Ethan Hawke. Like Ethan Hawke's this guy trying to escape it, you know what I mean? And so he's never played, like you said, he's never played that sort of like he's never played this dude before.
Yeah. And I don't want spoiler again on Back to the Black Phone, but there's an element to his character that you're not really privy to in the beginning. And then it kind of builds up to it, and you're just like, "Oh, whoa, okay." And then you see him the next time, and it's just like you don't think it's Ethan Hawke. I mean, it's just a different dude. And then number two, I put Dead Poet Society only because his role isn't as big as it was in Training Day. Like in Training Day, he's the guy, and it's his film. Right. And obviously Denzel Washington is the antagonist.
My captain at the end. He's the one that stands up on the desk.
Oh, no, 100%. Obviously, it's my number two. But the whole film, that's a great scene, but it's not his film. Like he's a supporting character in it.
No, I mean the story.
What do you mean? No, 100% is a supporting character in it.
The movie's not. It's Keating, Robin Williams, is sort of the catalyst of these boys, but he's the main boy that the story's about. It's about his growth. He's shy and won't stand up for himself or talk at the beginning. Make the argument
Neil is the number one
kid that stands on the desk and finally opens his mouth.
But Neil's death is what leads to that.
No, it's
Neil is the leader.
I'm telling you, I've seen that movie a zillion times. I'm telling you,
I've seen a zillion plus one.
It's Ethan Hawke's movie.
I know what you're saying. You can make that argument. I know you can make that argument. I'm just saying in screen time and it becomes his story, but it's not his story in the beginning and for 90% of it, which is why it's number 2, Pete, and not number 1, which is why you lose.
Neil and Keating, they help Ethan Hawke's character. They're there. Their purpose is to help Ethan Hawke's character.
Right. And you figure that out
and grow.
Yeah, 100%. That's at the end though. Throughout, we're on their journey before that.
Dude, watch it again. You're wrong.
I've watched it a million times. I'm sorry, a zillion plus 1 times.
Oh, yeah. Zillion plus infinity.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, we're pretty still on the same page overall. I mean,
yeah. And you did what? One is training day?
My one was training day. Yeah. I mean,
see,
such a different role for him too at that time, because you mentioned it before. I think he was in smaller films at that point, but his last major film was, I think, Alive or White Fang or something like that. Right. And he kind of went through a slight little dark period, or just his films weren't as big. And then this was like, oh shoot, Ethan Hawke's in this one. And for me, it just, he did Before Sunrise.
Yeah, but when he was cast in that and when it came out, I was like, Denzel Washington and Ethan Hawke? Like, why Ethan Hawke? Like, why is he in this movie?
Yeah.
And he killed it. He absolutely nailed that role.
Yeah. And I hear this Boyhood. I haven't seen Boyhood yet, but that's supposed to be pretty good. Boyhood, excuse me.
Yeah. I haven't seen The Northman yet. I wonder if I would have maybe put that on my list at some point.
I say no, and I don't want to spoil it, but yeah. Just see the Northman, but I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at his films real quick. Reality Bites, Quiz Show, uncredited, so that wouldn't have come. Before Sunrise.
A lot of smaller.
Gattaca. I forgot about Gattaca. Great Expectations. Oh, the Newton Boys. So he did some things. I hadn't seen all these though.
Yeah, but they weren't that role. I mean, that role was like a tougher.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You got to work in the street gangs of LA.
Yeah. And he's a police officer. So this is, again, he hadn't done a gritty role. He did a lot of these other roles. So yeah.
Right.